Joining me to talk more about this from Chicago, about U.S. consumers and spending and their borrowing habits and the economy, is Matt Sapaula. He's the financial expert and advisor at livingmoneysmart.com. Welcome to Biz Asia America. Let me first ask you, a lot of people say that some parts of the economy are doing well and some are not, and I have a feeling there's a big divide there. Who's doing well and who's not here?
Well, lots of times people are finding alternative sources of income. So in addition to their existing jobs, lots of times people are finding a service-based business or a side business to complement their existing income, hence replacing what the current job may have not paid in the previous job a few years ago in this current economy.
We just finished reading, I don't know if you heard or not, but we just read that the consumers are paying their bills as best they can. It's the best in nearly 20 years. But at the same time, we still say, well, the economy is not so good. The jobless rate is still an issue. Why are people being so good with their credit, so to speak?
I think the last 4 or 5 years has told people, wow, if you really want to borrow money and you're going to the banks and they're restricting their standards to a higher level, the credit score is so important. So if you're not paying your bills on time, you're not going to get a higher credit score, and thus the competition to get your loan approved is a lot more higher. So therefore, paying your bills on time, knocking those credit card bills, car loans, whatever the case may be, is put a lot of people back into a basic fundamental all over again.
If the banks are getting tougher on people who borrow money, there's obviously a large group of individuals who aren't in the middle class and they're not wealthy and they're in the working class and they might not have perfect credit. Right. Doesn't it hurt them in a sense that they can't have access to the same type of credit, and perhaps their life didn't change, it's just the rules changed on them?
You're absolutely right. Somebody moved their cheese. And sadly enough, people are going to payday loans. People are going to car title companies. Some people even go to social peer-to-peer lending sites to borrow money from other peers, a peer-to-peer group lending site. So the interest rates are much higher. Therefore, their income is going more towards debt.
I got a buddy of mine who's trying to look at buying a house.
Yeah.
And he has submitted so much paperwork, more than you can imagine. Well, maybe you can't imagine. And still, it's not approved because the documentation isn't enough. And he's got a good job. He's a lawyer. I mean, there's obviously individuals out there who don't have as good of a job. Are the restrictions too tough on people trying to get loans?
You know, you're absolutely right. There is a widening gap between those who are getting a loan approved and those who are not, definitely affecting the middle class. Even your buddy here, who's a lawyer, a good friend of mine is a loan officer, and even he is frustrated that the people who are normally able to get a loan approved years ago are not able to get approved in this day and age. It's just a matter of patience. It's just a matter of strengthening your savings, strengthening your credit, and just being patient. Unfortunately, in this situation, banks who have the gold make the rules.
Okay, but hold on, because the president told us not too long ago that he wanted the banks to loan out money.
Right.
Are the banks doing that, and what is the problem here?
Here on the ground, here in Chicago, we're not seeing a lot of that. So even though Obama may be saying that, the reality is people are still, like your friend, has got all these hoops he's need to jump through. I'm not sure exactly what the percentages are, but it is difficult to get a loan, especially with a lot of these retirees as well. A lot of their equity is trapped up still inside their house, and they're leaning on their home equity for future, either to downsize and have that equity to move to a different area, to downsize into a condo instead of this big home. So it is affecting, it's just a ripple effect across middle America.
I really hope we don't forget about those who need help, and those obviously aren't going to be the upper and middle class. Matt Sapaula, thank you very much. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Now we're going to shift